Hello my specters, spectators, creeps, cryptids, freaks, geeks, and all of you in between. I'm Leviana, and I got a question from a certain gray-faced friend quite recently. And the answer is yes, I do. But I'm cursed. Quite literally, actually, with the need to watch bad horror movies. And I figure, while I'm at it, might as well make something of it. How did I get this curse, you might ask? Well, let's just say that's what happens when you mix grandmother's spell books for cookbooks. And the kicker is, she won't even help me get rid of the curse. She told me it's just something I'll have to figure out on my own. Believe it or not, there is an upside to this curse. This movie being a prime example, considering it's not as excruciatingly boring as some of the movies I've watched. There were Bye Bye Man memes flooding my dashboard since advertisements started. Needless to say, this is definitely a train I'm sorry that I missed. What, is this the Bye Bye Man? Is this the See You Later Man? No. How did you get summoned here then? No, yeah, some people have been saying that I sound like JonTron, but for horror? I mean, I guess that's good. Now all I need is a sidekick who can only be understood via subtitles. What? Talking skeletons are uncharted territory, right? Good talk, it's time to go. Anyway, see you later, man.
See you later, man.
Oh boy, it's all coming back to me. While I try to figure out this anomaly, let's continue talking about the Bippity Bop Man, starting with its release date. Released during what is known as the Dump Month, Bye Bye Man hit the theaters on January 11th, 2017. For those of you who don't know, Dump Month is a special time that happens once, sometimes twice a year, usually around the back-to-back months of January to February and August to September. A movie could be released during this time for a multitude of reasons. It didn't do well at its test screening, it didn't have any prominent stars featured, or it could have been a movie that has no way of being marketed to a broad audience. The list goes on and on. Through some research I found the original release date was for October 14th, 2016, before it was shifted to be released on June 3rd, 2016. Then to December 6th, then to Friday, January 13th, 2017. Look, I get it. Sometimes you have to switch things up, move things around a bit, push back some dates. I've done it with about every review I've done so far. And while Bye Bye Man did do good in sales, it didn't do so good with reception from audiences.
The script teams with horror cliches, scribbled drawings, fantastic kept me skeptical protagonist.
Among my list of things to talk about, one of those subjects is their advertising strategy. From YouTube all the way to Snapchat, I recall seeing these advertisements circulate quite a few times. There was also a Bye Bye Man experience set up in Sylmar, California. I actually found out about this on accident while I was going through my second viewing of the movie where I take all my notes, and let's just say I can relate to some of the participants of this experience.
I know you want answers, but I can't give them to you because if I give them to you, then I say it and I think it and I can't think it and I can't say it. That's really fun. I can't think it. I can't say it. I can't think it. Hey. How's it going?
I know why you're here.
I was telling you that.
That's all that's left. No.
Get right in there and you make sure the guy
Calm
no,
down.
because okay, sweetheart. Listen.
I didn't know.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying.
You're gonna make us do bad things. You're gonna make us do bad things. You're gonna make us do bad things.
While an experience like this as an advertising strategy is an interesting concept, and good when done right, something like this would suit a movie with a better premise. Also, maybe doing more than putting someone in a dark room with bad actors. Then again, maybe that was a part of the horror.
I was telling him.
Moving on from that, the movie trailer made one glaring mistake. In my eyes, at least. They showed the monster way too fast. When watching trailers, it's meant to give you a glimpse of what's to come, get you excited or terrified enough to the point where you want more. The Bye Bye Man trailer shows you all you need to know about the movie in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
If I tell you about him, you and your kids, you're all dead.
Good. Save you about 94 minutes of screen time. Well, it looks like it's about time to get this train rolling, I guess. Why? In all honesty, for the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was pretty excited to see where this was gonna go. Madison, Wisconsin, October 20th. A man shows up to a house knocking with a rather frantic demeanor.
Jane, it's me! Open up! Did you tell anyone?
Did I?
About the name.
I think we all know what name he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, I told Rick. He thought it was funny.
Larry ends up shooting Jane and a few other people, all while accusing them of knowing the name, but also muttering those familiar words.
Don't think it. Don't say it. Don't think it.
In between these shots, there is a random shot of a train coming down the tracks at night. Okay. We have our title card in front of a train. Nice. Our next scene introduces us to the story's protagonists, Elliot, John, and Sasha. Just your average college students. Oh, is this gonna be a group of kids and then they're gonna get haunted by the fucking bye-bye man? Is that what's happening right now?
I think that's the whole movie.
That's the whole... Oh. I forgot to tell you, in case you're wondering who that is, I had a few friends from the Netherrealm join me to watch this. After some exploration of their new home and some friendly shenanigans, the movie continues to drive home the fact that Sarah and Elliot are indeed a couple. Sarah reads a note that Elliot wrote for her. Meanwhile, one of my Netherrealm friends brings up a good point.
Here's the real question. Why did he make his love letter look like a serial killer? Well, what if you meet some guy...
That's a fair point. Not much happens for a while, so I'll save you the time. A door slams, Elliot goes through some beads, then his family comes over and they all throw a party. Wandering away from the party, Elliot's niece wanders upstairs to encounter a dog? Soon after, she finds a coin, picks it up, but ends up taking it back. The party's over and we're introduced to Kim, whom Sasha has invited over to do a psychic cleansing of the house. But not before Elliot goes upstairs to find something spooky.
Don't say it, don't think it.
I feel like this might be a reoccurring theme.
Oh, there it is. There it is! He said it! He's about to say it. Well, he's thinking it now. It's me. This demon shit.
The boys are skeptical, of course, and don't take the seance seriously. Elliot challenges her, which leads to some surprising responses from Kim.
Don't think it. Don't say it.
You stop that.
Don't say it. Don't think it.
Ooh, here it comes.
Don't say it. Don't think it. 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 Don't say it. Don't think it.
Don't say or think what? The bye-bye man.
Spooky, scary.
John drops Kim off the next day and has a little... Hey, you have a little... Psst, you got something in your hair. Just kidding. It was a hallucination.
Spooky, scary.
Elliot asks John about some scratches on the bricks, while John says it was someone from the party. Elliot mentions that he heard scratching outside after the party. It's just a big old back and forth. Anyway, John goes inside and calls Sasha beautiful. Where did you get a skeleton? Love! Love, I'll show you what real love is. I think that's what's gonna happen. Is it? Good talk. 30 minutes in and I still have no sympathy for the characters. The characters are bland and boring, as is the writing and the acting. In all honesty, I'm rooting for the bye-bye man at this point. Elliot tells his brother he's worried about Sarah, that she's acting weird and feeling sick. Once off the phone, he takes his sweet-ass time looking for the next lazily placed jump scare. Whew! There it is! Found it! Moments like these are supposed to help build up to that big payoff. You know the one. Unfortunately, this fails to deliver on all accounts. It kind of rolls back to something like Seduction, where you don't want to whip it all out at once. It's just not going to be fun for you or your audience. Some mundane conflict ensues before we are brought to a shot of Sarah talking with Elliot. She reveals to him her lovely sketches from the past few days. She explains that she knows the bye-bye man is coming for her. Whew! Me too, sister. I've tried everything to get rid of this guy. No. Sarah continues to be mildly upset about the whole situation. Afterwards, Bye Bye Man comes to wake them up, but look at that, he just done and went and disappeared. He did it. The next few scenes are of each protagonist during the following day. Elliot goes to investigate more about the Bye Bye Man, Sarah goes to ask about the nightstand with the writing, and John sits in class and looks at photos.
I'm looking up the Bye Bye Man, right? There's nothing online, so I type in don't say it, don't think, and it led me here, the Dead Archives and Redmond. Here's what was in his folder. I think you write it and repeat it to try and keep from saying
The Bye Bye Man.
Hold on a second, you fucked up a while ago.
I'm looking up the Bye Bye Man, right?
Bye Bye Man, right?
We find out that a man named Larry Redmond redacted an interview he did with a teenager who was being stalked by the Bye Bye Man. Once becoming a target himself, Larry purged anyone he could find who knew of the name. Everyone who knows the name is dead. All good, right? All good. All totally good. Wrong! For more reassurance of plot points, they explain once again that whoever redacted the information wanted to erase the memory of the Bye Bye Man. That way, the plague wouldn't spread. Sounds like a familiar concept if you ask me.
What?
I take back every bit of energy I gave you.
And so, Elliot took an hour out of his life to cross out 4 words while hallucinating. Good game. Pack it up, time to go home.
Hey.
Elliot goes back to Kim and asks her to do one more seance with no funny business. She agrees, and on the way, we rehash what has already been established.
You can't help thinking about him. And the more you think about him, the closer he gets.
They make an attempt at calling back the train and the coin, and it probably goes without saying, it's just awkward. Upon finding out Elliot spilled the beans, they come across a wreck on the train tracks. And wouldn't you know it, after some confrontation, an eyewitness report said that Elliot was seen chasing Kim with a hammer. So he was hallucinating, but now he's a murder suspect. Whew, tough day.
You on something?
No, I'm upset.
After that, we go into another hallucination, this time from Sarah's point of view. And then Elliot starts hallucinating again. Just more rehashing of what the Bye Bye Man does, just without saying the name, of course. Elliot walks in on what looks like Sarah and John having an affair, but don't let that fool you.
You just throw it in the woods. Is that how you're gonna get rid of him? Close to that bunch, burn it. Oh! Is this really happening? That's how I do it.
Elliot pays a visit to Mrs. Redmond, the wife of the deceased Larry Redmond. She explains that he was writing a news story on a boy who had killed his family due to some kind of reaper. It's the classic, if you go poking your nose around where it shouldn't be, you're going to become part of the story situation. I've read plenty of stories like this where in the end you have that urge to delve deeper than the surface. And when done right, it can be a powerful tool to use for storytelling. However, this just keeps telling us the same things over and over again. We soon find out that Larry has become plagued by the same entity after poking around too much. Within the flashback, he proceeds to explain the whole process once again. In an attempt to save his wife's life, he refuses to reveal the name and departs on a mission to kill everyone he had talked to about the Bye Bye Man before they were able to pass on the name. Mrs. Redmond continues to explain that in order to get rid of the Bye Bye Man, Elliot must kill his friends, then himself. And we're back to our regularly scheduled programming with not one but 2 hallucinations at once. Bye Bye Man stepping up his game with this one. Not only that, but we're going to pull the old switcheroo right at the last second. And here he comes! Bye Bye Man points his wiggly finger at Elliot, just as his brother and niece show up at the door. How convenient. And now my favorite part of the film, where the score gets a boost in sound for no reason.
Bye-bye, what is that? Bye-bye. What is he saying?
And the house is on fire for no reason.
And so we wrap up this story with these 2 driving away, and then someone spills the beans. And that was the Bye Bye Man. Oh, aside from the fact that they made the ending seem like it was going to be left open for a sequel. While I realize adaptations and reimaginings of tales based on truth as well as fiction will take their liberties, many details in the Bye Bye Man that reference back to the Bridge to Body Island is given no context within the movie. The Bridge to Body Island is a chapter within a book by Robert Damon Schneck titled The President's Vampire. Without reading at least a summary of the chapter, things like the significance of the train or the dog seem like they were just slapped into the movie for more edge factor. I do believe that The Bridge to Body Island is a hell of a lot better than The Bye-Bye Man. You can tell by just comparing the titles. However, The Bridge to Body Island, while it has some interesting concepts, failed to hold my interest with the summary alone. It just left me with more unanswered questions. Regardless of how bad this movie was, I still had a good time sitting around with my Netherrealm buddies for a good chuckle, and as for my see you later man infestation, I believe I found the solution. He seemed kind of lonely, so I set him up on a hot date. Finally got this place to myself, and it's already time to part ways. On your way out, don't forget to check out the Ghoulish gallery featuring a couple of pieces I've received from a couple of viewers. Thank you guys so much, and I wasn't expecting it, but really appreciate it, and kind of want to make this a thing. So, see you guys next time. Hello my goblins, ghosts, ghouls, gremlins, creeps, cryptids, and all of you in between. Thank you so much for watching. You may have noticed the artwork on my wall has changed. Well, welcome to my Ghoulish gallery. All thanks to viewers like you. If you'd like to submit any fan art, feel free to send them on over to my Tumblr, and you might just see your work show up in an episode. And a special thank you to Oz Fulton, a fantastic friend, artist, and horror fanatic like yours truly. He graciously allowed me to hang his work in this episode. Be sure to check out more of his work. Links can be found in the description. As for the See You Later Man, well, he's in a good place now. Thank you once again, and I will definitely be seeing you guys soon.
No, don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it.